in the afternoon, we have the STEM camp. So can you talk more about our STEM camp course structure, Teacher Jonathan?
Yes, definitely. So I'll start off again on the left side from our critical thinking classes. So students who take our critical thinking courses will be able to hone their cognitive abilities through a series of exercises designed to improve their critical thinking skills, right? It's kind of like reading between the lines, inferring text, right? Reading beyond the text, right? Making inferences, assumptions. You've probably heard of the different levels of understanding, demonstrating understanding, being able to create something around a reading. So there's a big difference between being able to infer something from a reading and being able to retell it, right? So in our critical thinking course, we aim to teach students how to understand what's beyond the text, right? To understand context, to understand why the author might use a certain word or why something might be more effective than another, to create a really interesting project or really interesting product that is demonstrating learning beyond what's right in front of you, beyond like what we call regurgitation, right? Just restating what you already know. Okay, and our STEM lab courses is mostly focused on STEM, right? Science, technology, engineering, mathematics. We include many fun experiments. It's actually, experiments are a big part of what we do in class to engage students, to demonstrate real world examples, applications of science and math and engineering. And we have students engage with these experiments, work on groups, they participate and they build knowledge in a more personal online classroom setting. Let me see. Oh yeah, they also gain afterwards, after completing these experiments, right? We like to include science writing, right? That includes a hypothesis, procedures, and conclusions, and for everything that they've learned in class. So not just completing the experiments, learning about it, but writing about it afterwards and talking about their conclusions, what we can infer from science, right? And lastly, our coding courses. Again, that's developing those logical thinking skills, learning. We have many qualified coding teachers who understand not only what the process is, but how to make it accessible, especially for our younger students who might need to drag and drop versus actually writing out all of the code on a computer screen and seeing exactly the benefit of coding, right? Seeing what you can actually accomplish by putting a certain language, right, like Python, C++, into a computer and seeing how that can create a program. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember like the most word that I hear from our STEM teachers lesson planning meeting is problem solving, leadership skill, and all those kind of stuff instead of like simply using a language or solving a questions. I think and scientific thinking, that's another thing that our teacher keep mentioning. And from our latest planning meeting, I heard that in critical thinking, we can even use the Pokemon. Is that a Pokemon theme? Like they're gonna use the detective Pokemon as an example to help kids understanding critical thinking skills and solve problem like that. And the STEM lab, I heard that we're gonna do something really fun with water, with different textures, and for them to understand the density, the mathematics behind the fun experiment, and help them to record their research, their research status.